Good morning.
Good morning.
Selamat pagi.
Good morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Selamat Tahun Baru. Happy New Year. Saya nama Liang Qian. I'm taking care of Alibaba Cloud, Indonesia. Thank you very much for coming and being here at 2023 Alibaba Cloud Developer Summit. I'd like to welcome Pak Dedi Permadi, the Special Advisor to the Minister of Cominfo. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and also developers. Okay, and I understand actually a lot of you actually are coming from a different city around the world, and welcome to Jakarta. And I'm very excited to be here because of this developer conference. Okay, and when actually I started the Alibaba Cloud, actually our first developer conference, even before our first launch of our official website. So developer is actually way ahead of our website. And even don't have the business, even we don't have the international business at that time. Actually, I went to the North Europe and went to Tokyo to see the developers around the world. Okay, so developer is really special for me and for the cloud. And so again, thank you for coming to Jakarta for this summit. So today, actually, I'm going to share some of the thoughts I had about why we did something called cloud computing. So cloud computing is a buzzword, okay, at least for the last 10 years. But we just need some time to think about why we need something called cloud computing. So what I want to start is actually this is the foreword I wrote for the digitalization task force policy paper, which is for the B20 in Indonesia this year. Okay, I'm honored to be the co-chair for this task force group. But there's a few keywords actually when I wrote this foreword. The first thing is really why we need a cloud computing. So okay, what's happening with the screen? You can't do that. Actually, it's not our slides, okay, I'm not sure what happened. Okay, this actually, I'm sorry for that, this is not really the slide. So think about the one things, you know. And when we're talking about electricity, we're talking about something called electrification. So electrification actually reinvents the city in the 20th century. This is a very big statement, okay? So thinking about why we have a city like this, why we have the life like this, because of what's happening. And then we use the data to solve the problem. So data I think the one crucial things for the data is help us to understand the world, then help us solve the problem. Instead of you just using the information to solve the problem we already know. So data is help to understand something that we don't know yet, then we solve it. But I really want to emphasize the computing things. So that's why I put the evolution of computer to computing. A computer is a great idea, and everybody knows actually this word computer at the very beginning. It's actually referred to the person that do the calculation. It's not really a machine. But then we adopt this word as a kind of machine for us to do the calculation. And so what's the difference between computer and cloud computing? Is basically the way you access the computing. So when I have something called a computer, that basically means that the way you access the computing is through the box called a computer. So personal computer is a great thing because everyone can have access the computer capability. But with the internet, we need computing much easy access. We need more computing power, and also we want to make sure it's you can use it anywhere and anytime. So that's why you have to access the computing through the internet. So for me, if you want to define what is the cloud computing, it's basically if you can access the computing power through the internet, that's the cloud computing. So the fundamental way of the computing model to change because of these. And the more important is, today when we're talking about technology, we always list all the technology in a linear list. Okay. So in the last 10 years, we said we have cloud computing, we have big data, and we have artificial intelligence. They all listed in a linear way. So that's why I present the technology in the way I said, okay, we have three foundations, and then combine with the artificial intelligence, with the 5G, with the IoT, with other things. We have to think about, we have to put all the technology in a structure. So without a structure and the different technology, we lost its position. So for me, the Irish UK. So thinking about, even we have a city like this, we have this all new technology. We always said, okay, we're building smart city. But few people realize that actually the leakage rate of the water supply system is as high as I listed over here. So like the 50% of water in our pipeline, it just mysteriously gone, and nobody knows where that is. Okay, and even with this tremendous nature resource like water, like electricity, and also through the data. The data is your nature resource for us. Okay, and so eventually, why computing matters, why digitalization matters, I would say that one water electricity will create 10 times more value with the technology from all the people you are sitting over here. Okay, so through the digitalization, through all the effort we are doing right now, that everything that we have, every nature resource we use is going to create 10 times more value for them. And again, if you're thinking about the digital economy, so I always said, okay, digital economy is the economy of computing. And it's very interesting that actually diagram I put in my book, Being Online, is what's the relationship between the being online and the digital economy, and how you can see that different technology play a different role in this structure. But one thing I really want to make sure that actually emphasize, when talking about computing, we have to think about it's the United bits can be computable. So that's why we create a new value for this work. So forget about the Moore's law. This is the law for the silicon, but for all like Web 0.30, we are going to probably follow the different rules. And the last thing that I want to say is a few words really about why cloud computing is so different from the other technology. And this is probably the best statement I can have. So thinking about cloud computing is going to play the same important role, just like electricity played in the era of electrification. Again, electrification is so important. Today, probably a few people realize that it is a technology just because it's so pervasive. It's pervasive enough we can forget about it. So
best technology in the technology. Eventually, we didn't realize it existed. Okay, and why, we have the cloud computing. There are so many opportunities for the developers. Okay, and it's very hard to describe. But if you're thinking about apps, it's a kind of lightning bubbles. Okay, in the age of electrification. So what's the other new invention? Like
we use AI to help some farmers to predict the production capacity rate, the machine learning platform for AI. It helps us to train our model, to build our model, and to maintain and deploy our model at scale. We want to help the fishermen to find the right fishing area and to provide the guidelines regarding the safe area for them to pass.
We use Alibaba Cloud ECS to power our chatbot backend system. And we also use DB for storing the data like the maps and analysis to be broadcasted.
I have an opportunity to learn about many technologies that Alibaba Cloud provides. By creating this website, I strongly believe there is still hope for tourism industry of Bali to rise and grow as the pandemic begins to subside.
Yeah, thank you. This is really, we have the quick view of what we have done together. And the have there, now we have the worldwide, the footprint. And there is some very historic moment I would like to share with you. The first one is we have our FK, this project. That means at that time in the year 2010, we started to have a team to make these 5K clusters. That means a huge, cloud computing capacity and ability. So that means with all of these 5K clusters, our cloud. Today is a new milestone for the Alibaba Cloud. With you, with our distinguished partners, developers, and together with our customers, finally, I think we can forward more, and I hope we can these really, these joint efforts and make the developers and have you success with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selena, and respected universities. Next, we will have Mr. Raymond Xiao, Head of International Industry Solutions and Architecture of Alibaba.
Mobile operations, and of course it creates a closed loop so that you simply do not need to worry anything. As long as using this platform is end-to-end and allow you to simply create the mobile super app and mini program. Another beauty is that it's all containerized, and for any of your existing traditional mobile app, you can easily transform that into a super app within hours. It's leveraged by a containerized framework. It's quite mature and proven by Alibaba, and you can also use an IDE super app. You can also use this platform to simply help you to transform. By containerizing, we provide a framework. You can finish that within hours. And then for the second type of developer is the mini program developer, where is part of this super app. You can be provided with an IDE, so you can simply write your mini program for the super app with the same platform as well. But of course, it's easy, and also you write it once, it means you can deploy anywhere. And then you can simply develop your coding, your projects, using PolarDB for MySQL or PolarDB for PostgreSQL to do these innovations. And we are more than welcome.
You put it somewhere and then do something with it. Mainframe banking in Europe is a good example for that. It's been purposeful in, let's say, data processing from a data warehousing perspective, where you didn't really need to draw immediate conclusions from your data to make some point to it. It doesn't matter how you look at it, but the point is, for us, there are 4 things to take into consideration when we process data. It's time, consistency, especially in the cloudy world. You want it to be consistent when you go multi-cloud or into different regions. You want it to scale, and it has to be maintainable. So let's look at some of these points. Time. I'm using the word automagic in the 3rd line here. It's about the differences of stream and batch processing. So when data occurs, you want something to happen. And that's what I call automagic. So it's important to take time into consideration. Time does, and you can put that to any environment. And that way you can make sure that your business logic is consistently processed on any cloud, in any location, and at all times. So it's a very convenient way, and you're going to have these slides in a moment. Just wanting to go back a bit. My points that I wanted to bring across was stream your data, don't batch it. If you need to do batch, fine, but think about how you can possibly do it in near real time. You should think about apps, not jobs. And that was my last bit where I said, put your business logic in these containers, process it again and again and again, and make sure that it's almost like an app easy to use. You should be able to run it anywhere on any cloud. Horses for courses, I think the English say. Make sure that you pick the best one that really makes the most value for you. And to cloud or not to cloud, there's really no question. Like whatever makes you happy is where you should go. But as a developer, I invite you to come and speak to us. We are there at one of the corners on the right-hand side. So we have technical people, sales people, what you can do with stream processing. So if you have any questions, don't be shy and come and speak to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And it's such an honor to be here to make a presentation at Alibaba Cloud Developer Summit 2023. And thanks for having me. So today we're going to talk about applying cloud-native architecture to edge with OpenRoad. So here's the agenda, starting with about the background, what's behind all these activities, and also what's in it for us. And based on our POC evaluation, we're going to share the experiences and like evaluation result that we have. And a quick introduction of myself is I'm Tomoya, and I'm currently based in US, the Bay Area, but I'm originally posted in Tokyo. And I am a software engineer, so please don't ask me anything about management because I don't have the answer for that. And most likely working on OSS project, open source project, and system services, and proprietary system software. So I have been working with the open source project ROS, that stands for Robot Operating System, and I am also the member of the TSC to make a lot of contribution, and also the core maintainer for that framework. So here is the some information about my colleagues that I think it's going to be easier to use the API. Probably some components from Kubernetes or container network interfaces cannot work.
Security is a top priority. Our hardware security module helps them to make the products to be much more competitive in the market. Well, we have helped more than 300,000 enterprise partners to build their own IoT solutions.
Cloud in IoT department. So everyone here knows the IoT, and now this part I will introduce the solution to Alibaba Cloud Industrial IoT. Maybe here is not, I think the IoT in the industry will be the future, and the trend, IoT will change the industry a lot. So that's not our with 100,000 companies we use our IoT platform. For based on our practice in China, we find 3 keys to digital and intelligent manufacturing. The first key is of the first topic. As we can see in this picture, in fast food shop, fruit shop, and restaurant and tea shop, it is convenient to have a broadcast equipment to help them to get paid. When the customer pays the money, the sound box will broadcast the sum they have paid. Because the sound box can walk around and speaks louder, so they can free their cell phone and do not worry about the battery life again. So the sound box is very popular in small retail stores in China. It's a very, very hot concept of this technology era. But how to develop some algorithms or computing devices, this is our care about. This is what we just care about. So, what is edge computing? Edge computing, there are 2 different computing methods of edge computing. One is on-premises computing, which is near the devices and other resources. And the other kind of edge computing is edge cloud, such as CD and so on. So we just talk about more on-premises computing in this topic. On-premises computing is a kind of the edge computing, and the edge computing is an extension of cloud computing. So what's the difference between the edge computing and the cloud computing? First, large-scale devices vs large-scale data. Second, lightweight computing vs fusion computing. Third, real-time solving between business applications. So we can know that cost algorithm effect and stability are the key indicators that users care more about. So in many scenarios, especially industrial internet, new retail,